Hi guys, it's me Laura and it is resin time. I have been so busy doing the acrylic pours that I have not been doing resin, and partially because I hadn't gone to buy any casting resin. So I am going to work on these coasters here, and I don't know if I've mentioned it before. I'm pretty sure that I have, but all of my flowered coasters and cutting boards, I call them my boho collection, and I do that because of the flowers. They're real dried flowers, so this is what I'm doing today. I'm using these. I don't know what kind of flowers they are. I literally, when I buy them, I look at color, and the design in my head comes from the color and how I want to place them and things like that. But the boho collection that I have is named after the women in my family, and it's specific to my daughters, my granddaughters, my mother, my sisters, and my nieces. So that is who I've named all of my boho collection after. But I had one niece left that I haven't made coasters for, and I was waiting for these to come in. These flowers I ordered from a different maker that makes these, because the one I normally use, he didn't have these flowers. So I'm using these flowers, and it took a while for them to come in, so they're finally in. And that niece that these are going to be named after, her name is Raven. So you guessed it, I'm using the black. Let's see if you can see. This is the black I'm going to be using. So these are going to be black coasters, which I have not done, and they're going to be lined, well, not lined. I'm making just like a little swirl of a design. I think I could only fit 3. I tried earlier. I have the board also primed already, because the board is going to be next as soon as I get this. But it's just going to be kind of like just a line, a simple line, kind of curve a little, and I'll figure out how I do it because they're all shaped different. But it's going to be like that, but it's going to have the black resin behind it, which I think is super special. And that's what's going to separate these from my Laurel coasters. Those were the red flowers, but they had a lot of the big green leaves, ferns, and those were more of a Spanish flair. And so I loved the green and the red, but this one is going to be the black and the red. So so that's what I'm doing. So thank you so much. I am going to go ahead and mix up my resin. I'm using casting resin. This is the resin that I like. It comes from Michael's, and it's the Craftsmart resin. I like it. I have had no problems with it. I have used other brands, and this one works for me. So I believe if it's not broke, why try to fix it? It's good for me right now, and I'm happy with it. So I'm definitely going to bring you along as I'm designing all this, including the board. The board will be in this video as well. But I'm going to go ahead and mix up everything and get everything ready, and I will be right back. And I'll have music playing. And then at the end, I'll probably say something. But stay all the way to the end, because that's when I post the pictures. Once they're dried, I'll be able to pull them out of the molds tomorrow. And then we will stage them, picture them, so they can go on Instagram and Facebook. And then I put the pictures at the end of the video, so you can see how we stage them. But anyways, thank you so much for watching us. If you have not subscribed yet to my channel, please do so. Like it, share it, leave me a comment, and that helps our channel, and we appreciate it. We, as in my husband and I, he builds furniture, and I do all of the artsy stuff on the side. So we absolutely, really thank you so much for following us, and hope to bring you more and more content. And on that, let me put some music on for you. Thanks. All right, so there you go. That was it for the casting part of the coasters, and I know it was about 13 minutes long, but I brought you through the process of mixing my resin, the type of resin I use for the casting purpose. I laid out my flowers. Those coasters are only filled up 2 ounces, as I showed you on the little cup. And that leaves me room to come in tomorrow and go ahead and do my 1 ounce of top coat. So just hang on. The next step is coming right up. And thank you so much for being a part of this and watching my video. I am super excited to bring you more content. So now we'll go on to the second day. Hi guys, it's me, Laura, and it is actually the next day. I left these curing for 24 hours. Actually, it's been longer than 24 hours right now. It's about 1:50 in the afternoon. So what I'm going to do now, and I'm bringing y'all along with me, is I'm going to top coat it with a coating resin. So I'm going to explain a little bit of that to you. So it is actually a process to get these coasters and boards done by different things that I do, and then curing times and stuff like that. So, okay, so let me just go over this little cup last night. I'll write in the video, but I'm just going to say it. This little cup here is 2 ounces. It's a little 2-ounce cup. And so I like to measure when I'm putting resin in, because I have in the past had one coaster a little thicker than the other coaster, and I don't like that. So I actually measure out what I'm going to put in each coaster, so they're pretty much the same thickness. And so that's why I was saying I was using the 2-ounce cup for each one of these. I used to use this little medicine cup. It's 1 ounce. And I used to do 2 times in each one, but then I found these little cups and they're 2 ounces, so I use these. So this mold and the round molds that I have, they fit 4 ounces of resin. And I used to make 4 ounces of resin coasters, but they were a little thicker. So I think somebody had mentioned that to me, that they were thick. So instead of doing 4 ounces in each mold, I do 3 ounces. 2 ounces of casting resin. And then today, right now, I'm going to do 1 ounce of coating resin. And that's going to be my top coat. And I use the same brand from Michael's. It's the Craftsmart, but I use the coating resin instead of the casting. And this coating resin is supposed to be UV resistant. It's heat resistant. So that's why I use it as a top coat. It's not expensive. There are more expensive brands out there, and I have used the more expensive brands, and I like them the same. So like I said previously in the video, this brand has not done me bad. So at this current moment, I don't see in changing it. So I'm sticking with that for right now. I go to Michael's and they're sold out a lot of the times. I've had to go to a couple of different Michael's to find them. When I went on the ratings, I did notice a lot of people talked, some people, I'm going to say some people didn't like this brand. They said it was full of bubbles, and it does give you a lot of bubbles. So yeah, I've already mixed up my top coat. But if you stir fast, it's going to give you a lot of bubbles. If you stir with a wooden stick, because the wood breathes, it's going to give you a lot of bubbles. You either stir slow, torch it, heat it. I mean, any resin is going to give you bubbles, in my opinion, if you, like I said, stir fast or you use a wooden stick. So this hasn't been a problem for me, and I did put that in the comments on the reviews for this brand on Michael's. I did put that I personally like it. It does me very well. Yes, there are bubbles, but there's ways to treat bubbles or prevent the bubbles. And so I work hard on those angles. So going back to my coasters, I did 2 ounces last night of casting resin in each one. And now today I'm going to use 1 ounce of top coat, and then I'm going to let those cure 24 hours before I unmold them tomorrow. So that'll be the next part of the video. So you guys are going to see one video, hopefully not a long video because I do a lot of editing, but for me, it's like 3 days of processing. And then I want to let it cure up to 7 days before I take it out to markets or before I'll ship it to a customer. And even at 7 days, it's not fully cured because I have seen some of my coasters that have been longer than 7 days, and they can still, if I set them crooked, they'll still bend crooked. And I'm like, what's up with this? Again, I found that it was my thinner coaster, so I'm really not going to use that mold anymore. But 30 days, I believe, is the full cure where it's not going to move at all. But I take it out to market within 7 days. So it's a long process for the resin. It's you know, you do it, you let it cure 24 hours. I top coat it. I let it cure 24 hours. I remove them from the molds. I will paint the edging and we'll do pictures, and then I leave them flat on a flat surface for a week before I then start taking them out to market or before I'll ship them out. So anyways, that is what we're doing right now. Is I've already mixed up my resin. This is the coating resin. I've mixed it up for 5 minutes. And now I'm just going to do 1 ounce over each one of the coasters. And what I have left over, I will put over the board. So last night I put 2 ounces of resin over the board. So today I'm planning on 2 ounces over the board. I really need these flowers to be covered with resin so they don't what is the word? Peel up the petals. I don't want the petals to peel up, so I have to make sure that it's really, really coated well on the board. So I made 6 ounces of this resin, 1 for each coaster and 2 for the board, just to make sure I have enough to cover the petals of the flowers. So right now I'm just putting my top coat on, and I will put some music on for you guys because this can be boring. And then I'm going to let it cure for 24 hours before we unmold tomorrow. So thanks for sticking with me this far, but it is a process. So I'll go ahead and let you guys listen to some music.